Hi, this is Juliet here, and I've had 3 attempts now to do this live stream with you, and it was just a black screen, so technical problems. I realised that I had it switched and my camera case was on. Anyway, so here I am out at one of the nature reserves. I'm not sure, I think it's Ham Wall Nature Reserve in just on the edge of Glastonbury. We are so blessed to have this amazing amount of nature around us, and just as I was sitting here a moment ago, a little robin came and sat less than a metre from me and pecked up some crumbs that I'd dropped. I've just come out here because I'm doing some therapy work today, and I had a client for a few hours and then a short break, and now I've got another client soon. I have to go back. So I tried to pace myself. Now there's a helicopter going over. Let's not be disturbed by the noise. I try to pace myself on a daily basis because we are living in very intense times, and we are fundamentally we're animals as well as being humans, and what we tend to forget is that we have this primitive brain. We have a primitive brain that is subliminally picking up information the whole time and putting us into a defensive state. And even if we think that we're managing things okay, the intensity of what's happening around us at the moment is going to leave us in this defensive state, by which I mean that we're primed for fight or flight or parasympathetic shock most of the time. And so we're trying to kind of push that away, but it's running in the background the whole time. And the thing that human beings need more than anything else is to be with another human being, because it's only when we're with another human being that we can begin to feel safety, because humans are herd animals. So we have to look at the biology the whole time. We're herd animals, and that we only begin to relax and feel safe when there's somebody else near us that biologically it's hardwired into us, that we know is watching out for us. So when we put our guard down, we know that there are others around us that can take care of us. And this whole thing that's happening, it's a very evil thing that's happening. It's a deliberate attempt to separate us. Everything that we're being told to do is a deliberate, conscious attempt. I sincerely believe at some level. I don't think it's accidental anymore. Everything that we're told to do is designed to separate us off, to disconnect us from our loved ones. And in that process, it disconnects us from ourselves, from our sense of safety and well-being. And this it really ramps up this state of fear, where we then become so easily manipulated. And from that place, we then so easily just go along with whatever we're being pushed to do and believe. We lose capacity for our rational thinking, because when we're in this activated state of fight or flight or parasympathetic shock, our connections to our hi everyone that's coming on, our connections to these things that are non-essential get turned off. So our connection to our immune system turns off. When we're stressed, our immune system isn't functioning. Our connection to our logical brain, our frontal cortex, gets turned off. Which doesn't mean to say we don't have thoughts. We may think that we're still thinking, but we're not thinking in a cohesive, rational way. So we can't critically think, we can't analyse, we can't really take in the deeper meaning of what's going on. Our connections to our ability to rest, our ability to sleep gets turned off. Our ability for sexuality gets turned off. So all these things that make us human are switched off when we're pushed into this defence situation. and there is a deliberate intention, I believe, to put us in this state. So how can we counter this? And what I know, as working with trauma therapy, the number one thing that I teach people is about resource and the need to resource. Because when we resource, we begin to give the primitive brain positive information, positive sensory information. So taking time out and resourcing continually is more important now than ever before, because there's this continual onslaught seeking to make us feel ill. So the more that we can take time out, just think about it. What helps you to feel better? What is it that you like to do? Is it dancing or walking in nature or swimming, cooking, knitting? What are those physical sensory things? Eating chocolate, smelling flowers, listening to some beautiful music. Just think about those things for yourself. What nourishes you? What resources you? And then when you have an awareness of that, then just try to do it as much as possible. Sorry, my message turned up on my phone, just turning it off. Try to resource yourself as much as possible. And the other thing is try to connect with your loved ones as much as possible. Reach out, touch them, hold their hands, embrace them. Take the masks off. You can't see each other's faces with masks on. And it may be that you're so fearful that you want to wear a mask, and so that's a whole nother thing to work with. I'm not telling you to put yourself into a deeper state of fear, but just to try to give yourself the resource so that you have the capacity for feeling better and for critical thinking. But if the more you can connect with your loved ones, the more you can make soothing eye contact, because when we make eye contact, that releases oxytocin in the blood. It changes the chemistry. This is all about chemistry. Hello, little robin. Oh, this beautiful little robin's come back again. This is the third visit. Hello, darling. Oh, it's come right down by me. It's almost on my foot. Yeah, so this is all about brain chemistry. We are nature, and our body is all the time this state of fight or flight and parasympathetic shock. It's designed to help us. It's designed to protect us. And if we can work with nature rather than against nature, and if we can really listen to what our nervous system is telling us and keep ourselves well regulated. I talk about the window of tolerance, staying within the window of tolerance that you begin to notice when you're getting hyperactive, into fight or flight, or when you're in parasympathetic shock. Just notice in your body when those signs come up that's taking you out of your window of tolerance. And that's the time to stop and resource yourself. Just slow down and resource. And when you resource and you stay within your window of tolerance, then your immune system is switched on. We don't need an injection to make us well, or vaccination, and we don't need all the drugs and things that are now being rolled out to make us well. Wellness is in our body. We are nature, and our body knows how to take care of us. It's continually watching. There's all these feedback systems in the body, continually monitoring and knowing what it is you need in order to stay well. And if you learn to listen more closely to your body, take the time, take the space and listen and tune into that, because we have a wisdom. We are nature, and we have a wisdom that has been developing over millions of years. And it's developed our fight and flight and developed our parasympathetic shock systems to protect us in extreme danger. So if those are running unnecessarily, then we need to regulate so that we can turn them off. And there are so many things that I can tell you about trauma healing that I'm sure you have loads of questions, because sometimes when you just listen for a moment, try to break it down into simple things, then it's hard. So the more you learn, the more you're able to regulate and understand your own immune system, the better. And the final thing is that right at this moment we have our collective trauma, all those things that that we haven't managed to process yet over time, because the intensity of life has been so great and we've been in a state of shock for generations. And this is all coming up to the surface now to be processed, and it's a huge amount. So we need to keep communicating, staying online, keeping our frontal cortex online, keeping as well as possible, reaching out and embracing each other, building communities, being in nature, all those wonderful things. So I just want to share a little bit with you. I've wished for you to spend some time today in somewhere really beautiful or relaxing, or do something wonderful for yourself. And don't listen to all the terrible, frightening stuff all the time. There is a lot there that's frightening, and if you notice that it's more than you can handle, then turn off, go and resource, do something that will bring you back so that you build capacity, because this window of tolerance can stretch. We can build more and more capacity for holding ourselves and holding other people, because the thing that's going to get us through this crisis is to build this capacity, to build our relationships and our communities, so that we can hold more and more and be able to support more and more people, living in joy, living in love, and being in a really deep connection with ourselves, with our own divinity, with nature, with our loved ones. So let's just spend a moment. Let's just be here in this moment. It's a glorious day. Wherever you are, just taking a moment to slow down. Feel your feet. Feel your body. Notice where you're comfortable in your body. And taking a breath. And on that long out breath, just allowing your body to settle. And just allowing your body to feel heavier and more settled and relaxed in this moment.